Hey gamers, Jordan here with WayTooManyGames, bringing you a different kind of video, and this one's going to be a walkthrough for the newly released game for Nintendo Switch called Overwhelm. This game is pretty brutal. It is a roguelike game, so if you die up to 3 times before killing a boss or returning its gem, you'll have to start all over. You don't get any better or any experience points, you just understand the bosses more, locations of enemies, and just getting better at the general game. So let's jump into the options. I want to show you this because it's really cool, is you get to actually change the reflex speed, so you get to turn it up or down depending on your own reaction time. So turning it down is going to make it harder because everything's going to move a lot faster. Putting it up, everything kind of slows and goes in slow motion. That way you have more reaction time. So here's the kind of overlay of where the bosses are. Once you beat a boss, you can actually start from its checkpoint right in front of it. But let's just start from the middle. And I like to start from the top right boss. Sorry, top right boss, and then make my way around clockwise. I feel like that's the easiest way to defeat them because, as you'll see here later, once you defeat a boss, the world actually gets harder. The rest of the bosses get harder, and new enemies will enter the world that take on some of the attributes of the boss you just killed. So this was the selection that I chose. So yeah, let's go through here. I'm actually going to show you how to get to the bosses, and then some tips on killing the boss. And you'll see me die. I mean, I die like right here. You'll definitely die a lot in this game, and you'll restart a lot in this game. But the gameplay is it's very fun. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to get you to the boss. I'm going to kill the boss, give you some tips, and then basically you just have to make your way back to that center area. And I'm not going to show that because it's kind of a waste of time just to trek back there. So these are 2 lizards. The best way to fight these guys is just focus on one at a time. Just kind of dodge around and just kill. Just focus on your firepower on one of them. Don't stay beneath them because they can fall through some of those platforms without landing on it and then just crush you, and you'll see you die again. So that was my second death. So as you saw, last chance. So if I die again, I have to start all the way back from the beginning, which is the first boss, so it's not a big deal. But when you're on that last boss and you die your 3rd time, it's a bit frustrating. But yeah, so tips here, just keep moving. You can kind of trick them by staying underneath this main platform where they can't dive under, and just have them kind of like bounce back and forth left and right of it. But yeah, you'll just want to keep moving around the arena, but just focus your fire. Try and take one out. Don't bother bouncing between both of them. Just focus on one. So I took the one out, and then this guy. I mean, once there's only one, it's not that difficult. And he just kind of stood there and let me kill him. So you're going to collect the gem. The Hive is evolving, climbing. So now enemies are going to have the ability to climb. So these guys right here, they can now just climb on walls, which, isn't that big of a deal. That's why I like to just get it out of the way early as one of the first ones, because it's not that difficult. They're pretty easy to see. Climbing on the walls really doesn't bombard you. So when you're exploring all the other bosses, you're not going to get surprised with a difficult enemy, like some of the other ones that come up. Still gonna die. You're still gonna die. Alright, so I just warped back. I just wanted to, like I showed you, I just wanted to show you kind of what the new ability was, and then I'll go back. So this is the path to the next boss. So yeah, you want to follow this. This is the bottom right boss. So like I said, I'll show you the path there. I'll show you the enemy that comes from defeating the boss, and then getting back will I'll leave that up to you. So I'm actually underwater right there. I know it's kind of weird to see, but see that red straight line? That is the water line. So I'm actually underwater. You gotta watch your air, and you kind of float around a bit. And the reason why I choose this boss as one of the very first ones is because the enemy that comes from defeating him, they only stay underwater, and this is the only section of the level or the game that has water. So doing him first, or at least one of the first, is really simple because his enemy that comes from killing him really won't affect you while you're trying to explore and find the other bosses. Kill all these dang jellyfish. Grab some ammo. Container, activate the boss, and you're going to be fighting a nasty Kraken. There he is. So he only takes damage on his head, but the tentacles, if you get hit by them, will kill you. So your best strategy is just to use the platforms and kind of bait him around and just pepper him with a few shots. If you do go underwater, make sure you drop pretty quickly, and then, like I said, just kind of bait him around these rock formations here. Yeah, he usually doesn't just launch over the platforms like that. That was kind of a surprise. Alright, we'll do this again. Okay, you'll see me die pretty much once, at least, on my way to a boss or at the boss. So the game is not easy. So you'll definitely die. The key is just to practice. Practice, and you know, like I said, you're gonna have to restart a lot. But stay patient and practice, you'll get it. So just bait them around these rock formations. So you'll see the screen flash, you know, you'll probably notice that in the last lizard fight. The screen flashing and then the boss disappearing means he's going to reset his position. And all the bosses do this, by the way. I at first thought it was like a weird glitch or something. But, so Hive Evolve, Propulsion. So you'll see here in a second, the enemy that comes from killing him is strictly and only an underwater enemy. So he really affects you he doesn't affect you at all while exploring the rest of the map. So you'll see they kind of just swim at you really fast. They're just fast jellyfish, and that's about it. So return your gem, and then we're gonna go down to the that bottom red blinking square there. Fall down here, this time go left. And it's going to start getting really dark, and you're going to have only just a small circle around you with light. So just take it slow in this area. And so, see, that was bullcrap right there. He shouldn't have been able to go through that platform. That's how he kind of just crawled through the platform. That was bullcrap right there. But since it is a twin stick shooter, always keep it out in front, like aim out in front of you during this section and just take it slow. Because the guys will kind of just pop up and sneak up. If you're not sure what's in front of you and you're worried, if you shoot, your bullet will, it'll shine light in front of you. So you can kind of see what's coming up. So this boss is it's a giant worm, and like a lot of the bosses, you'll just want to try and bait them around. And during the first phase, he'll take damage in his head and body. But once you get about half life, he'll transform. Again, you'll see me die, but he'll transform and get armor on his head. So you'll only be able to shoot his body. So then the strategy is you have to bait him around one of these rock formations and then run around real quick so you can shoot his tail. So here it comes. So you can bait him around like that. That way you can shoot his tail. I like just to hide in one of the corners here, and then depending on where he's coming from, I'll move. And then that way I can set his path by where I'm kind of jumping to and then run around. Okay, so you'll see he goes up. And then I'm just going to run around him and just chase his tail. Honestly, don't know how he didn't kill me right there. I swear I thought he was going to get me. And if he doesn't spawn while you're kind of just waiting there, you'll have to step out. But this bottom left corner I really like because it's nice and big rock formation. So it takes him a long time to get around it to chase you. Just bait him up like that, and then run around, blast his tail, and that's all it is. So the Hive is evolving with shields. So this is a whole new type of enemy, not just a modification. These guys are like crazy rams. You're going to see them in a second. That will charge at you. Oh, see them right there? So, yeah, you want to stay away from them. They only take damage if you shoot them in the back, which I don't even bother wasting my ammo on them. So now, as you're going through the level to this next boss, as you're going to see here, we're going to go to the very left boss. You're going to have to watch out for those rams. So anytime there's kind of a long stretch where there's no steps, there's probably going to be one there. So just take your time. Coming up here, you're going to see me do a dash move. I actually forgot I had this move until about right now in the game. So remember to use this throughout the whole game. It's this dash right there. I think it's the LZ button or something for the Switch, and you'll dash and it's an instant kill. Also with the double jumps, when you do your second jump in the air, that if you can time it, you can kill an enemy with that second jump. Like right there, like what I just did right there. So a tip in this, so you see the grass waving. Take it slow. Look very, very close, because you'll see these little monkey things. You'll see their tails sticking up from the grass, and that's how you know that they're there. So just scan the grass in front of you and make sure that you don't see any little tails pop up. You don't need to kill all the enemies. You saw me just run past quite a few of them. And then a sweet dodge right there in the center. So this boss here is a giant ant. And at its halfway mark, it's going to start spitting acid at you. And it can hide in these bushes. So you'll want to keep the pressure on him. Just stay as close as you can and blast him. He'll try and charge you, charge attack you, and you'll just have to double jump over him. He's gonna shoot that at you. It's pretty easy just to kind of back up from where you were standing to avoid getting hit. And if he does, when the screen blinks, that means he's teleporting. So you're just going to want to go through and just start shooting all the bushes until you see one flash. So spitting venom, that's now those little monkey guys, excuse me, now these little monkey guys can shoot venom at you. And you can actually visually tell which ones are going to shoot the venom and not, there's a little red stripe on their tail. It's like that one didn't have a red stripe. This one right here will. You see the little red stripe on close to the end of his tail, like that guy right here, he doesn't have one. So return that gem. So now we're gonna go to the upper left boss, and this is gonna be not the final boss, but the final boss, and then shit's gonna go to hell. So now you have enemies who can crawl on walls, fling acid at you, and those rams. And like I said, there's no more underwater levels, so you're never going to have to worry about those little fast-moving squid things. So you got to make your way all the way up to the top left. So just keep following all the platforms up to the top left. You're going to have some wind blowing against you. So you're going to have to time your platforming well. Because it will... Well, now it's pulling it. Now it's pulling. So just keep going to the top. Watch out for any of those moths. Birds or bats, where the hell they are. Alright. This boss is I forget what he's called. It's a skull. He's got it's like a moth with a skull on it, like a wasp or something creepy looking. But your best bet with this guy is just kind of bait him and then just jump over his head. A lot of the bosses are just baiting. And then you just jump over them. You'll see me right here. Just get him down to you and then jump over his head. Turn around and shoot him. When he disappears, he's going to come at you from a weird angle, so just be ready to dodge or jump over his head. And he's going to transform into this thing, which is like the wasp I was describing earlier. And he's a little bit faster in this form, but the strategy still remains the same. Just use these two platforms, hop right over his head. And if he doesn't come low, then just go underneath him. So now that he is dead, hold on, I'm going to pause it real quick. I got a few things that I got to go over here before we continue the video. So, as you can see, once I killed this last boss, there was that black mass coming from the left of the screen. That will chase you. It doesn't take up the entire map from left to right. It is a mass, so you can actually get underneath it, you know, go around it or whatever. But it's large, so you know, depending on where you're at the bottom of the level, you're not going to be able to get underneath it or go around it. Also, another tip: so the new enemy that's going to come out has fast flight. Basically, these are super fast wasps that are going to come at you really fast. That's why I always leave this one to the last, because I hate having those wasps coming at me while I'm trying to do the other, explore the other stuff. So, you'll see me, so once you kill that last boss, and it's going to be any boss that you kill last, that black mass is going to come after you. And you need to make it back with the gem, and obviously put the gem back where you've put the rest of them. Alright, let's continue. So, you're going to see me die. Watch out, because there's going to be a lot of enemies coming through here, but you're going to want to move really, really fast. So pick up the gem again. You're going to want to go fast, fast, fast. And just run back to the center. And then once you do that, the gem's going to go away, and you're going to want to make it, you're going to want to go down. See the blinking red? Go down to the middle of the map. So take the same path we took to get to the worm boss. So now the black mass is on the other side of me, so I can't go that path. So I'm gonna have to go back around, like we were gonna go to the part with the grass in it. Okay, but you're gonna go right this time instead of going to the grass. So you're gonna go through here. Don't drop down there. That's a trap. Hop down here and then destroy the gems. Now you have a time limit. You got to make it back up to the top where you delivered all the other gems. So you have a time limit, but you still have plenty of time. Don't go too fast. Don't rush too much and die. Go up I like to go to the right path, because you can hide right here in this little pathway going up. Otherwise, other paths, you'll have those freaking wasps coming at you way too much. See that one of the wasps is following me right now. So I died, but you'll see here. So keep going to the right, the upper right. Be ready to shoot any enemies. Stay quick, but don't go too quick. I think if you go at a steady pace, you'll still have like 10 seconds left. So don't rush too much. And then once you get to the end here, back to the middle, just watch out for any of the rams, because the rams will come out of nowhere and take you out. So make sure there's no enemies waiting for you up here, because you're going to need to go up. So yeah, see an enemy hopping up. So I had about, what was it, 11, 12 seconds. So take your time, but keep a steady foot. So you're going to hop up here, and this is going to be your final boss, and it's one of the easiest bosses. Because you don't really need to worry about much. You just aim back. You control the horse going left and right and jumping. So you'll want to pay attention to where he is more than looking at the boss, because the boss you can just aim backwards and shoot. Just pay attention in front of you and make sure you don't get stuck. So the boss is going to go through multiple waves. It kind of goes through each wave of each of the bosses. So that was the spider that shot the acid at you. Here comes the Kraken. So you're just going to want to make sure you stay far enough in front of them. Don't get hung up on the platforming too much. You're going to go underneath. Just keep shooting away. So now he's going to come back as the worm. This was one of the harder ones because you have to shoot him on the top of the head or his stomach. So when he goes underneath, it's pretty easy to shoot on the top of the head. If you needed some leverage, just go ahead and jump and aim down. Not leverage, angle. Sorry. Like right here, you can't shoot him. And don't try too much. You'll see me here, because if it reflects and bounces back at you, it will kill you. So wait until you get back out in the open right here, and then you can start taking him out again. So he's gonna hop up, shoot his stomach when he does that, and when he dives down, shoot the top of his head. So he's gonna transform into the next wave here. And this guy will actually fly above you. And as soon as he starts to take off, head to the back, because he's going to try and land on you. And then the same when he goes back up in the air, go back up to the front, because he's going to land on you again. And that's it. You've beaten it. So this little guy's gonna hop out, and I actually haven't played it to where I've let him kill me because I'm kind of wondering if there's a different ending. But he's gonna aim at you, and you gotta kill him before he obviously aims at you and kills you. I'm wondering if I'm gonna play it through again, and let him kill me, see if there's a different ending. Because like he hops out at the end and he takes your shape, so I'm kind of wondering if it changes it up. But that's it. I'm going to have a written version of this coming out here pretty soon. So look out for that on our website, waytoomany.games. See you next time.